it up.
Poggy.
Poga cheese.
Poga piggy.
Oh, we're fucking doing this all right.
Oh, we're rolling.
Yeah.
Oh,
Welcome
God.
back to Bikes and Brews.
We're
Ryan.
laughing.
That's Carl. That's RJ. We've
Wow.
definitely not been sitting here for the last 10 minutes on our phones doing fuck all. So we've got some bike shit. We've got some brew shit. This one we're gonna be drinking a Tales of Gold Dragon's Milk.
Oh my god.
Which is free range, farm to table, cruelty free dragon's milk.
So who are we talking about today?
We're talking
bourbon barrel, bourbon barrel,
aged
golden. Oh my
How do you say
God.
refrigerator?
With what? With milk sugar?
Milk sugar,
Milk
yes.
sugar.
Oh my god.
Would probably go good with
Tales
boba.
of Gold actually doesn't sound that bad. It's stronger than hell though. I couldn't avoid the label.
Yeah, it's right on the front. It's
Yeah.
it's 11%. We're
Just
see if
gonna
that
ruin that. Yikes. Yeah. So we should be drinking this in a little tulip glass, but we're not gonna.
Fuck it.
Wow.
That was loud.
ASMR.
Hell yeah.
We probably don't need to open two at this point.
Not much head.
Excuse me?
Squeeze me. Hey.
Smells like beer.
It's a strong ale.
It's a golden ale.
Yeah, we'll open another one.
Wow.
It is 11% after all. We're ready to partay.
It's probably gonna be sugary as fuck.
I'll be honest.
Whoa.
I'm digging that.
You're digging it. He
that's-
said digging it.
Yeah, no, I
Haven't tasted it yet. I'm still smelling.
Wow, that was way off.
I gotta see how far off I am for actually liking this.
Probably gonna be super sugary though.
Ours is-
Why is super sugar? It's 11%.
Yeah.
You think it's gonna be sweet?
Well, it's got to turn into alcohol somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if it's 11%, all the sugar's gone.
But it's also barrel aged as well, so lots of sugars from there.
No,
That's thick.
it looks thick.
You almost got to chew it.
Okay.
You could put boba in that.
Put the black balls in there.
Yeah,
bad, huh?
little boba in that.
It's a little weird, but
You'd be fucked up.
yes.
You be.
It's interesting. I definitely can taste a little bit of that. What is that?
Taste of gold.
Milk sugar.
Tails of
Milk
gold.
sugar. There, you can taste the milk.
Yeah, I don't
Is
taste
that what
the
makes it thick?
bourbon.
What? A little bit. Dragon's milk. They call it dragon's milk, but
Yeah,
it's made
it's-
with milk sugar.
Yeah, it's.
What is milk sugar?
I think it's sugar derived from milk.
It's like the milk from
Whey.
like your cereal.
Lactose. Lactose would be a milk sugar.
Who the hell knows what milk sugar is?
Lactose would be a milk sugar.
Yeah, true.
Its full chemical name, I believe, is galactose. Is that correct, Laura?
But that doesn't. I
I'm
mean,
not sure about galactose.
on
Lactose,
paper, on
yeah.
the.
Double check.
I'm just gonna give up on that one.
Anyway.
What do you think?
I kind of like it. I do like golden ale, so there's that.
Ha! I was right.
It tastes strong, but it doesn't taste like 11%.
Lactose?
No, it does not
Galactose
taste like
is a
11%.
simple sugar or monosaccharide that is part of the carbohydrate family, commonly found in nature, especially as the disaccharide lactose or milk sugar.
So
Get fucking
is
chemistry,
it just
nerds.
I mean, did they derive it from milk, or it just has the same chemical composition that's what is in milk?
I don't know, but I'd put tapioca pearls in it.
And a
I
straw.
put some
A
Nestle's
big straw.
Quick in that thing, and let her eat
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Yeah.
Some strawberry.
strawberry Nestle's Quick.
Oh, yeah. Nothing like a pink beer.
What was that grimace?
You okay?
Strawberry Nestle's Quick.
RJ's about to have a stroke.
Hey, what do
I
we
keep
rate
going. I
this
keep
thing?
going back.
Oh,
I don't know. I'm confused.
This one's a little bit weird. I don't know what to do with this one in a way, but I keep
Drink
going
it
back.
typically. It's probably not very good.
All
if you
right,
pour it on
let's just
warm.
talk about just straight, like, I'm going to sit down and watch a movie, and I'm going to have this beer because it's kind of good.
Yeah.
So what would you rate it?
I'm going to give this one like a 8.2.
Ooh.
That's exactly what I was thinking, to be honest. And I was thinking maybe not, but I'm going to give it an A2 also.
I wanted to not like it, but it's pretty good.
Well, my taste buds were doing this like right off
You
the
don't
bat.
want
and
to
I was
like it, and you gave it an 8.2. That's a 9.
Oh,
Whatever.
whatever.
He's not even arguing.
Tail of gold.
Wow.
The bourbon thing though, I don't really taste that
taste the
much.
bourbon.
I don't really taste much of the bourbon.
I don't
That just
smell the
sounded
bourbon.
good for the label.
Totally.
Yeah.
And the dragon, it's dragon's pregnant dragon.
Barrels and casks.
Pregnant dragon with its milk.
Oh, wait a minute. Is there a...
No, there isn't.
Oh, it's just the back of the label.
Thanks.
I wasn't sure if there was a little hidden back of the label thing going on.
Oh.
Oh,
Yep.
what do you think?
What are you rating it?
I'll give it an 8.5.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
whoa!
It's not offensive in a beer way.
Wow, interesting. All right, who bought this?
I did.
Ryan did.
Where'd you get this from?
Total Wine.
Oh, you can get this at Total Wine. Interesting.
They have
You guys-
another version of it I'll pick up for the next time we're filming.
Okay.
That's a porter, though, I think.
I don't give a fuck what it is.
Whoa.
All right.
Bourbon barrel aged. Interesting.
Still.
All right.
With milk sugar still. I know Tales of Gold Bourbon. Okay, it says the same thing on the side. Okay. All right. Oh, there's a whole novel on the side too.
Oh,
Myths of Treasure.
Is this where we
Guarded by Dragon, have fainted. I'm not going to read it all. Sounds like a bad
I want to drink it, not
Bad
read,
Lord
not
of the
read a
Rings
bedtime story.
episode. Exactly. I just want to drink a beer. Anyways, all right. What are we talking about today?
Talk about Pogacar. And is he good for cycling? And have we had this conversation enough in every other media outlet?
What's your? Let's just talk about our gut reaction to Pogacar.
If it's not him, it's somebody else.
No, not really. Before Pogacar, there was kind of a dead part of cycling where
Was it dead, or was it actually more exciting because there was more people who could actually win a race?
Okay, who was winning the races then before Pogacar?
You had
Sagan.
No. Sagan was like end of the career by the time Pogacar showed up.
Right. So that era's gone. Pogacar came in.
Yeah.
And Sagan was like almost like just a niche of because he wasn't a Grand Tour rider.
No, he was a sprinter, classics, kind of stage hunty guy.
It was Chris Froome and Nairo Quintana.
Yeah, Nairo Quintana was overrated.
Nairo Quintana is like that's overrated. I think too. I have agreed with you there.
Nairo Quintana and Thibaut Pinot go in the same category. One of them is South American, the other one is French.
Well, I mean, for better or for worse, Lance Armstrong dominated his era.
Chris Froome obviously dominated for 4 years.
Yes,
He
and
won,
he probably would have won 5, but he crashed out.
His Dauphiné crash.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I feel like Roglic had his own kind of like mini reign of terror for a while.
Nowhere near.
But I mean, look at how many Vueltas he's won, Giros, all that. I mean,
He never won the Tour.
okay, cool. How many other people have won multiple Grand Tours multiple times?
And why didn't he win the tour? Gotcha.
No, exactly. But that was the beginning of his like mainstream acceptance as okay, this dude is the new.
But Lance won 7.
Yeah. Do you want me to piss everybody off?
Yes, please.
I don't think
Yeah, but he's
anybody's-
also doped to the gills.
So was everybody
So
else.
was everybody
Yeah.
else.
But how do we know they had the good drugs?
I
'Cause
know. I
obviously
think
his
that's the
drugs
biggest
were better.
difference. I think he had the best drugs that was available.
I mean,
But the style that he was winning, at least it looked like it was challenging. Like it wasn't like running
Lance?
It wasn't like totally running away with it.
Yeah.
Well, he
Lance
only
still
rode
had a rivalry.
He only-
Pogacar doesn't really have a rivalry.
Yeah.
The closest thing to a
That's true.
rivalry
Vingegaard.
is Vingo, yes.
Go,
Yeah.
yeah.
And even then, I feel like this year's tour, if Vingegaard doesn't show up and really come
Which
out
he
fucking
won't.
swinging,
He won't.
Boring.
then it's going to be a boring 3 weeks in France.
Yes, I agree with you there. But I like to watch the dominance of maybe not the Tour. Maybe the Tour is a bad example. I like to see him in all the other races. The Amstel Light, if he does it. I like to see him when he tried Paris-Roubaix. He got second and he crashed.
So what
in
you're
his-
saying is you like to watch a race when you don't know the outcome.
Yeah, you're right.
You want to be surprised.
I guess I'm always anticipating whether he's gonna dominate like he has been.
He won the Giro last year, right?
Yes.
Or was it the Vuelta? I forgot.
Giro.
Okay, so we won the Giro last year.
Giro Tour.
Yeah, he did the Giro
I
Tour.
did not bother watching a single stage because I
Already knew it was gonna happen.
think I watched the first stage because like I wanted to see what happens, and it was basically just like
It was boring.
it was the Italian training camp for Pogacar who just shat all over everyone.
Preparing for
Yeah,
the tour.
but it was pretty amazing
Like,
to
oh, is
see.
he gonna win a sprint stage?
Like when you watch like Chris Froome, there's like a weirdness about watching because of the way he pedaled and everything, and then Contador stood out of the saddle a lot and he had this dance. When you watch Pogacar, you're like, how come he's so freaking fast? Because when he looks effortless and he just motors away from people, and you're like, why?
What drugs is he on?
Yeah.
That's exactly.
But the fucked up part is like I'm not even gonna say. I mean, if it came out that he was on drugs, would I be surprised? No.
No.
If it came out that he wasn't on drugs, would I be surprised? No. Because we haven't really seen any domination in a good long time that is as universal. Like, even when you talk about Froome was Grand Tours only.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Froome would not...
Same with the Armstrong, only did the Tour de France.
Yeah, those guys would not show up to Roubaix.
Right. And they wouldn't do. It was rare. I mean, Froome won the Vuelta and all that, but like, you wouldn't see them going for those events and doing the one-day classics and everything the way that Pogacar is.
Yeah. Then you look at some other riders who had, flashes of brilliance. Like Roglic is a great example. Roglic, I would still say, is probably one of the best one-week stage racers in a very long time.
Yeah.
That said, in 3 weeks, I mean, obviously he's still one of the best in a very long time because he's won a shitload of them, but, still hasn't got the Tour. Now, that said, Pogacar's like, okay, I won all the Grand Tours, now I'm just going to go pick up every other race there is to win. And it's gotten to the point where it's kind of silly.
I think the reason he does it, and I could be wrong, the reason why he does it is because he's so dominant. You're right. He's looking at other races because I want to do that because even if it does affect me, he's got such a huge gap at like the Tour de France. If he's knocked down 10% going into the Tour de France, he's still going to win it by a huge margin.
Well, and the part that's wild to me is you even look at the parts where there's gaps in his skill, and it's like he still has so much goddamn power to just go ahead and ride people right off his wheel.
Yeah.
You look at Strada this year, and he fucking wrecks himself, and then gets out of a bush, and then rides Pidcock off his wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Like,
It's pretty amazing.
That was ridiculous.
and then, I mean, what type of stage would you be legitimately surprised if he won? He wins a
I
sprint,
agree.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I
He
know,
wins
yeah.
a time trial, I'm not surprised.
If it's a mountain sprint,
Wins a mountain,
he'll win it.
Wins a mountaintop, not surprised.
Right.
But even when you look at the other guys who are supposed to be like truly, specialists and shit like that, like Van Aert is outrageously impressive when you consider there was 1 year where he won a time trial, a sprint,
Yes.
and a mountaintop finish at the Tour in the same year.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
That's fucking wild.
Mm-hmm.
If Pogacar did it, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah.
It would just kind of be expected.
He can win a time trial. He can win a mountaintop finish, no problem.
Yeah.
There's all. I guess I'm just.
If you
I don't
took-
think
if
it's
you took
over.
Wow.
Maybe that's why it's still interesting to me. It's not over with, and it seems like he's in his prime. And I'm anticipating on how much he's going to crush and how far he's going to go with this.
I think he's going to end up being just the latest generation of a Merckx.
Which is pretty impressive to me, and I want to see that.
No, his entire career is fucking impressive.
And I think he's a little bit howdy doody, but I think he's a nice guy, and he's just interesting enough and flashy enough on the bike that I'm interested.
He's actually nice. Like, it's really hard to make him a villain.
Right.
Like, the dude just fucking loves riding a bike, and you can't help but watch it. And like, even when he is beaten, he's not pissed off about it.
Right. He's a nice guy.
There's been video of him.
Sure.
Oh,
but
yeah.
he's not like an unsportsmanlike dick about it.
He's not Lance Armstrong.
Yeah, no, he's not going to go start a fist fight because he lost a sprint. Like, Like,
Or he's going to tell you, I'm going to ruin your life because
Yeah.
you're going to,
yeah,
something
he's
like
not going to go ahead and
that. Like straight up villain dick.
ruin his teammates' marriages because they talked about the drugs he was on.
Right. Yeah. But you don't like him
Nah, I don't. Just
What?
because he makes the sport kind of boring.
because he makes it a predetermined outcome.
Yeah.
I think RJ is like.
But you don't like to see him dominate like that?
No.
Okay.
No, I mean, I'll be honest. Like, I'm kind of bummed when he's racing because then it takes a lot of the excitement of watching the race out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like watching the races where he's going. He's always a favorite wherever he goes.
Yeah.
But I don't want to watch him go to a race where I'm just like, all right, he's gonna. All right, cool. Our 80 Ks to go.
I have a
he's
feeling-
gone. All right, that's the race. Let's see who's gonna get.
I
second.
think this year's Tour de France, he's going to do that. I hate to say it. Well, I don't hate to
He's
say it.
going to run away with it?
Yeah. I can't see. I cannot think of anybody that's going to challenge him that well.
Really?
Yeah. Who would?
Vingegaard.
Where'd you go?
I don't think he's there. I don't think we've seen the Vingegaard that when he was in his prime.
Well, keep in mind, Vingegaard last year had come off of nearly being dead in a ditch.
Right.
Right.
At was it Catalunya?
But I'm not
6 weeks in
seeing.
the hospital.
Yeah,
Right.
spent 6 weeks in the hospital, then had 6 weeks to train. So I mean,
I hate to say this, but
and he was able to beat him on what, 2 stages or 1 stage?
I think it was 2.
Okay, so he beat him in 2 stages. He
I'm
wound
just
up
not
getting
seeing the sign.
second.
Maybe because
He's actually had a clean run up to it.
he hasn't done the early season stuff where he's been dominant and everything. I just don't see it. But I mean, that's not the kind of rider he is. But
Okay, here's the other thing.
Find out in the Dauphiné.
So okay, here's the other side of it. Vingegaard trains and just does the tour. He is very much the old school GC, Lance Froome, whatever you want to say, in his preparation for the tour.
sure,
Pogacar on the other side is
Eddie Merckx.
fucking every race he can go to. He's just like, hell yeah, we're gonna ride bikes. Oh fuck yeah, I'll go.
And
Try and win a
I'll
race.
use my teammates sort of, but then if I feel like it, I'm just going to pedal away from everybody.
Oh, dude, watching Pogacar is very much like watching a sprint stage that Sagan was in like 2016-17, where it was just like Peter Sagan and his merry pack of morons, because they were never anywhere to be seen. There was
Right.
never an organized lead-out train. It was just, all right, hand me bottles for 150K, and then I'm going to go fuck off and do my own thing.
Yeah.
And then you'd either win the stage or get fourth. Or ejected from the tour.
Yeah,
Like, Bora was a team that only existed
because of him.
to deliver bottles to Sagan to let him
Right.
go fuck
Yeah, he
off.
had no support and he didn't need it.
And until, I think it was the first time Pogacar lost the tour to Vingegaard, I think that every tour he's been to, he's been stronger
Yeah.
than all of his rivals. But the team they put behind him is nowhere near as good as the competency of some of his rivals.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
Like, they might have more horsepower, but they might not know what to do with it.
Yeah. I think that training wise, that once you burn that many matches in the
In the
beginning of the year, I don't know how you're going to react to the tour.
I mean,
so that'll
and
be
that's-
interesting to see.
That's what I'm curious about, is because he's had a hell of a preseason.
But he did skip the Giro this year. But I mean, that's usually the cause of why people don't do 2 tours back to back. You know, if you got 1 day events and everything, that's a lot different than doing a grand tour like the Giro.
That's true.
Sure, but you would also then argue that it's an entirely different type of effort.
Right.
So you wouldn't have somebody be like, I'm going to skip the Giro, but I'm going to do all of the classics.
Yeah. 250K all out.
Yeah, I'm gonna do
Yeah,
San
but
Remo.
I don't think that the fatigue or whatever, affects your going to the Tour de France. It's so far out or whatever. Now, if you got hurt or something, yeah, it would, and there's a risk to be had.
Oh, and
But,
I'm sure that's a big reason why a lot of those guys don't do that.
Yeah.
They don't want to get.
You just don't want to go
Crashes.
ahead and just get the.
Yeah.
You don't want to cobble where.
I think he's just gobbling up everything he can to be like, because he likes to do it. He enjoys it. I think he
mean,
likes the challenge.
I mean, is there a race, period, that you don't think he could win?
No, not unless it was like just a pure sprint race or something. Which
Because everybody before, I feel like it would say, "Oh, it's Roubaix."
Everybody.
right,
And
And
now
he did
it's
that,
like
and he
if-
almost won it.
no, he got what, second?
Yeah, and it was
Okay.
close. He was battling with Matthew Van Der Poel.
Yeah.
Until they- yeah.
Trobro Leon.
Trobro, yeah. Okay. If Pogacar retires and doesn't get Trobro,
I challenge him right now.
I want to see where he
win
can
that
go
race.
in
Tour
the-
of Guangxi.
Well, I think it's. I guess I like the fact that like he's going against all these doubters that have always said like in the modern era you can't do the Giro Tour anymore, the back to back. You can't do the spring classics as well as the Tour. Like he's defying all that, and I like the fact that.
Well, and I think
he's
we've also lost an appreciation for how fucking impressive Merckx was.
Right.
Because when you look at Pogacar's record compared to what Merckx is doing, it's like
Pretty close.
it's pretty close, but
Right.
it's not the same. And how much did Merckx do before Pogacar's age?
right.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck.
Well, that's the thing is too, because that's my point though. In a way, is that the excuse always for Merckx was like that was a different era, you know, the riders and there wasn't as many people that close to each other, and the speeds weren't the same, and all this other stuff. And now he's proven everybody wrong. I like that. I like that he seems to be more going from a gut instinct and just like I want to race. I don't care. You know.
You know where he got a lot faster? When he got away from camping. He went to Shimano, and after that started winning shit more.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You didn't have to do
Oh.
bike changes with Rafa Micah.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's not SRAM, that's for sure.
Yeah.
He's not Andy Schleck.
Yeah. No, I believe the first year UAE was with Shimano, they were paying for everything.
Yeah, they,
Whereas they were paid to run Campy. And then said,
Yeah.
nah, fuck this.
No thanks.
We got that oil money, baby. We can buy group sets.
yeah. Anyways, all right. It'd be interesting to see what's going to happen, especially at the Tour. You guys aren't interested because you think it's predetermined in a way, or it's boring.
I think we're going to get either a great show or it's going to be a fucking boring-ass race.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I don't think there's going to be any in between.
No in between.
I think
I mean, Nairo
I think
and
the only
Green,
I think Nairo and Green. I think Geraint Thomas is going to take the sprint
Combativity.
finishes. Yes.
Yeah.
He's in the Egan Bernal. I was so disappointed. I was there was a part of me that I was hoping Egan Bernal would do better at the Giro.
I think he did pretty fucking good.
He did pretty good, but you know what? It's the same thing. It's like I hate to say it. I don't have a lot of faith, but I think if you mirror Ving and go to Egan Bernal, I don't think this is. I'm not saying for the rest of his career. I just don't think Ving and go is going to show it this year. I could be wrong.
I mean, his entire team is just like, fuck yeah, we got this. And I feel like that's a pretty...
But they
fucking-
all do that.
Yeah, but they really didn't in the lead up to last year's. They're like, oh, we're going to
See
shoot
how
for
this
a
goes.
podium.
Yeah.
And then I
See how
think
it goes.
they're Dutch.
Well, let us know what you think. I mean, we got the Tour just around the corner. We just finished the Giro, so give us your predictions. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think Pogacar is going to go with this? You think he's going to be dominant above the Tour in the next Spring Classics, and is he going to do the Vuelta? Like, there's a lot going on there. He didn't do
Isn't
the Giro.
he doing the Tour and the Vuelta this year?
I don't know.
That's a
I
good
believe he's
question.
doing both.
Comment on it.
Oh shit.
Let us know what you think.
Yeah, I believe
Unless he
he's
gets
doing-
hurt, I bet he will.
Oh, that's the other thing we forget is that he can very well get hurt.
Yeah, that's the thing. He could get hurt.
He does.
He had a
crash.
close call at Paris-Roubaix. He put it into the ditch. Luckily, he got up and rode away, but
And
he
he
was
crashed
done.
at Strada.
And he crashed at Strada. You know, so he's not immortal.
No, he could very quickly road glitch himself.
Yes. Geraint
He is
Thomas.
Slovenian.
Oh jeez.
Geraint Thomas won the Tour. The 1 year he didn't crash like crazy.
Well, I felt bad. The year after he won the Tour, he goes to defend and then gets fucking breaks his hip when somebody's bottle ejects from a cage and he gets it straight to the front wheel.
But that was always like when didn't you're like Geraint Thomas is on the deck again. You know.
Yeah.
Anyways,
All right.
We're outta
Like,
here.
comment, subscribe. We're out.
we're out. Good luck.